made an audio message before, but it wasn't great. I struggled to stay on track and express myself clearly, so I'm trying again in this video. I put a lot of thought into this to make sure I say exactly what I mean. This isn't easy to talk about, but it needs to be said. Living with a disability means spending so much time just getting through the day, managing my condition, dealing with exhaustion, and constantly fighting for basic support. That's why many of us seem blunt or inarticulate. Not because we don't care, but because we are struggling to be heard. And what I want to say today is important. My name is Jaco Cardoso. I have Friedreich's Ataxia, a degenerative neurological condition that affects my movement, balance, speech, and ability to perform basic tasks. I don't want to make this video. I don't want to have to fight for basic care. But right now, I have no choice. I rely on care assistance for daily tasks, but I don't have enough funding to cover my actual needs. That means some days I fall with no one to help me up. Some days I go hungry because I can't prepare food. Some days I struggle with basic hygiene. This isn't just difficult, it's unsafe. My previous social worker, Selena Hemley, left in the middle of my reassessment without explanation. The work we did together disappeared. My new social worker has been slow to respond. Wessel has been taking money meant for my care. No one is taking responsibility, and I'm the one suffering because of it. This isn't about saying the system is broken, but right now it's failing me. We are forced to prove our disabilities over and over, even with medical records accessible. We face delays, miscommunication, and lack of urgency. And when we don't get the help we need, we're left to struggle alone. What needs to happen? Restore my Care Act assessment. Increase my care hours. Ensure I receive my rightful funding. Hold Wessel accountable. Provide clear answers. I just want to understand what's happening. This isn't about making demands. It's about getting the support I've already been assessed as needing. If I don't, my situation will only get worse. That's not an exaggeration, it's reality. And the adult social care team, I need your help. Please send this directly to them. I'm not just a number in your system. I am a person, and I deserve to be treated with respect urgency, and fairness.
The video you've just watched was recorded on the 22nd of February 2025. By that point, the situation I have been describing on this channel had already been going on for a very long time. The original Care Act assessment, the one that had been done online and didn't properly reflect my needs, dated back to early 2023. And that was still the assessment the system believed I was operating under. So by the time I recorded that video, I had been living under that incorrect assessment for more than 2 years. 2 years of trying to manage a progressive neurological condition with a level of support that simply didn't match the reality of daily life. As I've explained in earlier episodes, I spent much of that time trying to resolve the situation through the normal routes: emails, requests for reassessment, following the procedures that are supposed to exist. Eventually, in July 2024, a proper reassessment was carried out, the one I worked through with Alison. At the time, it felt like the moment things might finally move in the right direction. But as you've seen in the previous videos, that reassessment never seemed to turn into a functioning support plan. It effectively disappeared somewhere inside the system. So when I recorded the video you've just watched, 2 timelines were sitting on top of each other. It had been more than 2 years since the incorrect assessment that the system still believed I was under. And it had been more than 7 months since the reassessment that was supposed to correct it. During that time, the administrative side of the situation had become a kind of constant background task in my life. Emails to write, updates to chase, documents to locate, questions to ask. All of it happening alongside the ordinary reality of living with Friedreich's Ataxia, a condition that continues progressing regardless of how quickly administrative systems move. By the start of 2025, it felt increasingly clear that the normal channels simply weren't getting anywhere. Which is why I recorded that video. Not as a campaign, not as activism, but simply as a way of explaining the situation clearly and asking for it to be looked at properly. What I didn't expect was how quickly something happened afterwards. Within 2 days of recording and sharing the video, I received an email from the manager of my social worker. They had seen the video, and they asked whether we could arrange a meeting to discuss the situation. Interestingly, the email came directly to me, even though I'd previously asked for communication to go through my advocate. But the important point was this. For the first time in a long time, something had actually moved. A meeting was proposed. It would involve the council, the organizations connected with my support, and the people who had been helping me navigate the situation. At the time, that felt significant. After years of trying to resolve things through the usual routes, it seemed as though the video had finally reached someone who was able to respond. I remember feeling cautiously hopeful that the situation might finally begin to move forward. But looking back now, with the benefit of time, things were not nearly as simple as they appeared in that moment. The meeting did happen. And while it did move the conversation forward in some ways, it also revealed new complications and frustrations that I hadn't anticipated at the time. So although that email felt like a breakthrough when it arrived, it wasn't the resolution to the story. It was really just the beginning of another chapter. And what actually happened in that meeting, and why it didn't resolve the situation the way I had hoped, is what I'll talk about in the next episode.